Hi guys, welcome to today's tutorial. In today's lesson, we will learn how to use Whitebox tools in QGIS. In our previous lesson, we learned how to install these Whitebox tools in ArcGIS. So let's try to do the same thing for QGIS. And Whitebox tools can be used to perform common GIS analysis operations such as cost distance analysis, distance buffering, and raster reclassification. In remote sensing and image processing, you can perform tasks like image enhancement, image mosaicing, numerous filtering operations, simple classifications, and common image transformation. Whitebox tools also has some advanced spatial hydrological analysis tools, which can perform spatial hydrological analysis such as flow accumulation, watershed delineation, stream network analysis, and sink removal. They can also perform terrain analysis, for example, common slope indices such as slope, curvature, wetness index, hill shading, hypermetric analysis, and multi-scale topographic position analysis. Whitebox tools can also be used in ladder data processing. So let's look at today's exercise. So the first thing we need to do, we need to go to our browser and download these Whitebox tools. So in this case, I'm using Google Chrome. I'm going to search for Whitebox tools. Hit enter. And I'll go to the official website of Whitebox Geospatial Home. So I'm going to select the first link, which is going to take me to the official website of Whitebox Geospatial. And since we want to download the Whitebox tools, I'm going to go to the software. You can actually read more information by scrolling down about what these Whitebox tools do and how useful they are. But since we just want to download it directly, we go to the software. Then we are going to download the Whitebox tools. I'm going to select the download Whitebox tools tab. Another tab opens. So we need to download these Whitebox tools. So we'll scroll down and we'll select download these for Windows 64-bit. You can actually download for Mac OS or Linux by selecting the respective links. But since we are going to install it on a Windows computer, we're going to select download for Windows. Then there is a form here that appears that you need to fill in some of your details. And it says, please note the information provided below helps us improve Whitebox tools. All information is voluntary. So what you can do is you can fill in your information if you're interested and put your email address, your first name and your last name. You can select your sector. Then you can select your application areas and also the folder that you want to use. But for me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just click on submit and download because there's no mandatory field here. So I'm going to just click on submit and download. And it will prompt me to save it somewhere on my computer. So I'm going to browse for where I'm going to save the Whitebox tools. And I'm going to save it in my application folder. So I'm going to create a new folder in the application folder and call them Whitebox tools. And then I'm going to save them within that folder that I've created in my application folder and start downloading. It's actually a fairly small file, so it takes quite a short time to download. So I'm going to open the folder. And I have Whitebox tools for Windows. I'm going to unzip everything in this folder. And now I have a folder that contains the Whitebox tools. So I can open and be able to access these files. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to QGIS. So I'm going to open QGIS. In QGIS, we're going to go to the menu bar and we're going to select the plugin tab. Then we're going to select manage and install plugins. Then in the search bar, we're going to search for Whitebox tools and see if they are available first. So I'm going to select for Whitebox. There is nothing. So what we need to do is we need to connect the repository of the Whitebox tools. And to do that, we're going to go to the settings. So I'm going to select settings. Then we are going to actually add a new repository from the already existing because it's not actually in the QGIS plugin repository. We're going to add it manually. So I'm going to click on add. Then I'm going to give the repository a name. So I'm going to call it Whitebox tools. Test. Then under the URL, I'm going to enter a URL here. So this URL is actually provided in the documentation of these Whitebox tools. So to access it, I'm going to go back to my browser, open the Whitebox tools. Then I'm going to scroll back up, and then under the software again, I'm going to say I want the learning resources. So I'm going to select the learning resources. Then I'm going to scroll down, and then under the Whitebox tool manual, I'm going to select the Whitebox tool user manual, because it has a lot of documentation that actually supports these Whitebox tools. Then on the preface, I'm going to select QGIS plugin. So I'm going to select QGIS plugin. You can actually see it has the QGIS plugin is also here with the procedures on how to install it. So I'm going to select QGIS plugin. Then I'm going to scroll down, and then there is the URL that this is the URL that I'm actually going to put in that empty URL box. So I'm going to select the URL. Then I'm going to copy the link, and then I'm going to paste it here. I'll also provide the link in the description below. After that, I'm going to hit OK, and it is testing the connection. And finally, if it gives you the green light, it means that it has connected successfully. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go back to all, and then under all now, I'm going to search for the Whitebox tools again. And you can see we have the Whitebox tools for processing. So I'm going to select the Whitebox tools for processing, and I'm going to install the plugin. And it tells me plugin installed successfully. So I'm going to close this plugin manager tab. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to the processing toolbox and select the processing toolbox. And you can see under the processing toolbox, there's the Whitebox tools. So what we need to do is we need to reconnect now the folder that we downloaded to these Whitebox tools. To do that, I'm going to click on the options. And then under the processing options, I'm going to go to providers. And then you can see we have the Whitebox tools. So I'm going to double click. And under the Whitebox tools executables, I'm going to browse for the file, where the file is. So I'm going to browse for the file. I put it in the apps folder, Whitebox tools. Then I have the folder here. And then I'm going to just open it. And I'm going to select the Whitebox tool.exe file, which is the application file. So I'm going to click on open. Then I'm going to say OK. And finally, when I go now to my Whitebox tools and click on the drop down, I can now see the geomorphometric analysis tools, the GIS analysis tools, and many other tools, including the image processing tools, LiDAR tools, precision agriculture, and stream network analysis. So what I need to do now is I need to just test one of these tools and see if it is working. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer very quickly in my work area. So I'm going to select under the coordinates, I'm going to delete everything and just type the word world, hit enter, and the world shapefile appears. What I want to do is I want to do a simple analysis so that I can see how effective these tools are. So I'm going to go to maybe say the GIS analysis tools. Then I'm going to select the centroid vector. So I'm going to double click to select it. And now I have the centroid vector. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the centroids of the world map. I'm going to save it as a temporary file first. I'm just going to click on run and then give it some time to run. And you can see the centroid has finished. So I'm going to click on close, and you can now see each and every region of the world as a centroid now. So these tools are quite effective. You can try working with any other tools and see how effective they are. That's it for today's exercise. If you found this video useful and you want to learn more on QGIS, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'm just happy you're here. See you in my next video.